Welcome to Equal Ground Headlines. I'm Samuel B. Williams, bringing you your balanced coverage for trending top stories. Us of April 7, 2025. Trade tensions between the United States and the European Union have escalated significantly, marked by a series of tariff impositions and proposals from both sides. On April 2, 25, President Donald Trump announced the implementation of a 10% baseline tariff on all imported goods, with an additional 20% tariff specifically targeting imports from the European Union. This decision was part of the administration's broader strategy to address trade imbalances and protect domestic industries. President Trump emphasized that these measures were necessary to rectify what he described as unfair trade practices by the US's response and countermeasures. In retaliation, the European Commission proposed counter-tariffs of 25% on a range of U.S. goods. These tariffs are set to be implemented in two phases, the first taking effect on May 16, 2025, and the second on December 4, 2025. The targeted goods include diamonds, eggs, dental floss, sausages, poultry, almonds, and soybeans. Notably, items such as bourbon, wine, and dairy products were removed from the initial list to mitigate potential escalation. A Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič stated that while the EU prefers negotiations, it is prepared to implement these countermeasures to defend its economic interests. He emphasized the EU's willingness to engage in dialogue, but also highlighted the necessity of responding to unilateral U.S. actions. Rejection of the 0-for-0 tariff proposal. The European Union had previously offered a 0-for-0 tariff arrangement, aiming to eliminate tariffs on industrial goods between the two economies. This proposal was intended to foster fair trade and avoid a tariff escalation. However, President Trump dismissed the offer, stating it was insufficient and did not address broader issues such as non-tariff barriers and other trade practices. White House Trade Advisor Peter Navarro echoed this sentiment, acknowledging the proposal as a good start, but emphasizing the need to tackle non-tariff cheating. The imposition of these tariffs has led to significant market volatility. U.S. stock markets experienced sharp declines, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropping as much as 1,700 points during intraday trading on April 7th, before closing down 349 points, 0.9%. The S&P 500 ended 0.2% lower, while the Nasdaq Composite saw a slight increase of 0.1%. Economists and financial analysts have expressed concerns that escalating trade tensions could increase the risk of a global recession, hinder economic growth, and raise consumer prices. In Europe, leaders have expressed a preference for negotiation over escalation. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen stated that the EU remains open to discussions, but is also prepared to defend its interests through countermeasures. German Economy Minister Robert Habeck criticized the U.S. tariff approach, suggesting that proposals like Elon Musk's call for a zero-tariff arrangement reflect underlying concerns about the impact of U.S. policies on American businesses. Mondays, Besiman, Bedendin, Contemni Votis, Is As of April 7, 2025, both the US and the EU are engaged in a complex trade dispute with significant implications for global commerce. The EU's proposed counter-tariffs are pending approval by member states, with a vote expected soon. The situation remains fluid, with potential for further negotiations or escalations in the coming days.